Hello, River Terrace Church. My name is Tom Hoffman, and I am the chairperson of the facility design team. That was a team that the council put together in late 2019 and re-engaged early this year after COVID to talk about the sanctuary and how we might be able to refresh our church as we look to the future. It's been more than 30 years since we've done any changes to the sanctuary or even kind of thought about how the sanctuary serves the church of today. And so we have been engaged in a process with an architectural firm named Elevate Studio. Talented folks there, including Steve Fridsma, have been talking first to a whole bunch of focus groups from different ministry areas of the church. We talked to youth, children's ministries, worship, the leadership of the church and council, facility people who know our facility. It's been a really engaging and active process to get some ideas about how ministries go at River Terrace Church and what kinds of things we think about for the future to be the kind of place that honors God and makes disciples of Christ. So I wanted to let you know that process has been ongoing, and there will be an opportunity for you as a congregation also to speak into this. We have an exercise that we've worked up that asks the congregation to think about the values that we want in our ministry and in our exposure and in our buildings as people come back to church and come back to River Terrace and visitors come, all those kinds of things. So there will be an opportunity in one of the worship services is in a couple of weeks, as well as online for you to do that. So please be looking for that. The other thing I'd like to share with you is a good friend of mine, Kathy Prince, who's also on this facility design team. We sat down about a month ago and we talked about what some of our hopes and dreams are for our church and for this process. And I thought it would be nice for you to hear from Kathy and some of my thoughts as well. So God bless you and God bless this process as we go through it together. A final question, Kathy. I'm going to steal this from something I hear my wife talking about at Lansing Christian School. They've adopted a method of thinking about transformational learning, they call it. But I hear her using the term, what's your deep hope? And it's a pretty powerful idea to think about, whether you're in education or even for this situation, for this church, maybe for this team trying to figure out whether there's some new things we can do with the sanctuary, the building. My deep hope is that we don't make the sanctuary too big of a deal, but we do feel community together. I feel so privileged to have felt community at River Terrace Church. I just want that for everybody. I really do. And to the degree that this little group might be able to help and people pitching in with focus groups or answering an online survey or whatever we end up with, just know that my deep hope for this process is that we will have a beautiful community of God and people can feel that closeness and that love that I know I have and my guy have. So there's a little quiver there because that's the real deal for me. It really is.
It is. I guess, making this motion, but somehow just these open arms that we can gather together again. And I just want this family back together, and I want us to get some new people too, because wow, you and Wendy weren't here when we came.
Yeah.
All these people who have come, and we've lost beloved people. Too many. And we're waiting to make some new friends too.
I really view that as something where we need to be ready for, is just to be as open as possible. I mean, this has been a tough year. And what a nice opportunity this nice established congregation can have to be just open to people who come through the door and to bring them in.
Make them feel at home right away. Have a smile and maybe even someday a handshake or a hug. I think we got a taste of heaven here.
Yeah.
Our people.
Yeah.
And maybe we don't,
Okay, well, here's hoping we use loud enough voices for my primitive equipment and that they ran adequately for us to have a video to come out of this. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And please feel free. I'm not going to watch this when you do it. So you can put words into my mouth.